Well, hello, and thank you for joining me for the Alex on Tech and TechAdvice.life video interview. I'm joined today by Dr. Richard Miller. He is the founder of the iRest Institute. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Alex, and lovely to be here with you as always.
Thank you for taking the time. Now, I thought probably the best place to start is if you could please give a recap of your incredible career over a few decades in just 30 or so seconds.
Well, I'd say my career began in 1970. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, a licensed marriage and family therapist. But starting in the 70s when I was mentoring in psychology, I had a wonderful mentor from the Far East who had grown up in a yoga community, a Buddhist community, a very deep spiritual community, but also existential, phenomenological, humanistic. So right from the get-go when I was in my training, I was exploring both Eastern and Western perspectives of psychology. Along the way, I fell into this program that I've developed now as iRest Yoga Nidra. Back in 1970, it was just known as Yoga Nidra, but it's an in-depth form of meditation that when I first ran into it, I had such a transformative moment. It set my whole course from there, trying to understand what just happened to me when I took the first class, because it was transformative. How can I find out more? And this led me ultimately to where I am now, which is the founder of iRest Institute about, 2006, with 35 more research studies behind us showing the effectiveness of the program that I've developed over the years.
And of course, I mean, it has been successful in military in the US, in Australia, with frontline health workers, in all sorts of examples. Can you just give us the quick version of who has been tremendously helped by the iRest protocol?
It really started in 2004 when I was approached by the United States military to see if I could help returning warriors with extreme PTSD. And our first study at Walter Reed Army Medical Center was so successful, it really launched us where we're in some 75 plus VA sites all around the United States, Germany, Hawaii. But then it led me to inquire into how might I help the homeless? How might I help people in abuse centers, domestic violence, things like this? So I started really spreading out and seeing. The good news was every population I experimented with research, the program was very successful. I call that the good news. The bad news when we started was we were starting to get a lot of call for our teachers, which we began a training program, a certification program, and now we have some 5,000 plus trained teachers in 25 countries doing this wonderful work with all sorts of populations across the board.
Which includes 400 trainers in Australia.
400 in Australia, 100 or plus in New Zealand. We've got trained teachers in Japan, Germany, China, all over the world.
So how did you meet Peter Koronius, the founder of CyberMinds, the world's first mental wellness program for cybersecurity professionals? And how did he come to integrate iRest into his programs?
It was a very serendipitous moment. I got a call from him without knowing him. He explained to me that he had run into the iRest program and that it was exactly what he was looking for. So we immediately started a relationship with one another, and I was helping train him in how to deliver the program, which he is now. And then we looked at how might we develop it in Australia, then the United States, ultimately Great Britain, Canada, Ireland, and in other countries around the world. Cybersecurity being our first venture, but we have other sites on healthcare as well because I'm doing research in the healthcare. So while we have CyberMinds now, in the future we might have health minds, we might work with lawyers, legal minds. So we're looking at all these different populations that could really benefit from the program, helping them with their stress, related issues that they're facing in their workplace, but also it then dovetails into their family and relationships. So we're really teaching people life skills they can carry with them the rest of their life.
And it's wonderful to see the iRest program, the iRest protocol, having now gone into so many other communities. It's potentially something you didn't necessarily foresee, even though you did experience and have experienced tremendous growth yourself.
No, I didn't have any vision on how it would expand. I was just feeling called to teach this that had been transformative to me to other people, and then slowly the word has spread. I tend not to go out trying to get things. They come to me, and then we just roll with them as we do, which is what happened with Peter when I got that wonderful call from him.
Yeah, it's nice when the universe is helping people discover you rather than you having to discover them. Yeah. So now, Cyberminds launched in Australia in 2022, and then it launched in the US alongside the RSA conference in April 2023. Now, you were part of that mental health and cybersecurity leadership summit. So, as one of the obviously the main guests, introducing Iris Protocol. So what was your impression of the launch event? What did you say at the event? And what were some of the conversations you can share with some of the cybersecurity leaders that you met there?
Yeah, it was amazing and wonderful to me to see the response we got from the RSA conference giving support to what we were doing. They really saw the vital importance of the work we were doing to help cyber workers really work with their stress and not go into burnout. And I was really grateful, a lot of gratitude here in my heart for the people who came to the launch from the different corporate entities, who gave talks, who we got to talk to and interconnect, and to see that every which way they're liking the program and they're looking at how they might bring it into their corporate settings to help their people, again, overcome stress, have a good sense of well-being in their job, and ultimately stay in their jobs because they're liking these kind of programs that they're getting for their own benefit.
And many of these people obviously recognize that mental wellness, mental health is a serious issue in the cybersecurity space because of burnout, which is seeing people leave the industry. And with Cyberminds using the IRIS protocol, as you were saying, burnout recovery, but also burnout prevention. And part of the program is also to get the younger people who are entering cybersecurity for the first time to actually be equipped with the IRIS protocol and Cyberminds teaching, so that from the ground level, they're actually entering the industry, able to prevent burnout in the first place and deal with what is a hugely stressful environment.
Yeah, you're marking the critical element here. People both in corporate world settings, but everywhere in the world are undergoing such stress from the politics, the economics, the fundamentals that are shifting, echo changes in the climate. These are all stresses that we're all feeling, but especially so if you're in the cyber industry, and now you're having to weather the different attacks that are coming in against the corporate environments, the government, the military, whatever. So there's tremendous, focus and energy in these people that we want to keep them in a sense of well-being. And that they really enjoy the work they're doing, even though it's stressful, but they're really seeing the benefit that they're bringing to the customers that they're serving. So that's what we're feeling. We can bring the benefits so that we're serving them, and they in turn can therefore better serve the populations that they're working with in their work in the cyber industry.
Yeah, I mean, you've been working on it for decades, but certainly in the cybersecurity world, it's an idea whose time has absolutely come. It's come at the perfect time. Because especially during the pandemic, we saw more attacks than ever before, and that hasn't dissipated in any way, shape or form since.
Well, people have been sensing there's an issue here, but it's really now, as you're pointing out, coming to the light of day. And we're offering an incredible solution so that people don't burn out, can stay in their jobs, both the workers, their CISOs. The whole environment can be one that's really supporting a sense of well-being, even though they're in this incredible stress environment.
So you've been appointed as the inaugural chair of the Global Advisory Board of Cyberminds. I guess is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your relationship with Cyberminds and with Peter, and anything else that the IRIS Institute has planned for the rest of the year?
My job is really to hold the integrity of the program that I've developed as we develop it in Australia, and then we develop it in the United States and offer it into other countries as well. I'm really enjoying my role with Peter. He's a delightful person to work with. We interact very smoothly, and I'm getting to meet so many people that I would never have met, like you and the people who came to the RSA and the launch. So I'm feeling really a lot of gratitude again in my heart for how Peter is moving this forward, and I'll give him all the support that I can and the support of my institute behind him.
So what is your final message to the viewers and the readers of the article that this video will be embedded into, and to everyone else in the community?
I would say look into your own sense of self and look at the stress you may be under. Here's a program that can really benefit you, help you find what I call an indestructible sense of well-being that you can use as a foundation to bring to every situation, relationship you'll ever find yourself in. Whether it's work, but the lovely thing as we're working with the people at their work environment, we're also helping their families, their friends, so it's a network we're working with, not just an individual. And this is really going to help people uncover, I would say, that sense of well-being that lives in all of us. It's innate, it's our birthright. Let's bring it forward and really help people get a taste of it and bring it into their everyday lives.
Sure, you can restore calm and a sense of, as you say, unbreakable well-being.
We can not only just restore it, but we can help people feel it moment to moment to moment. So that really creates a foundation from which to meet each moment from that wellspring of inner goodness and well-being. Yes.
Well, as you say, it's transformational. You've seen the results. You've shared the results for decades now, and it now has a new application, which is wonderful to see. Dr. Richard Miller, thank you so much for your time. I do wish you the best of success. I do hope we can work together, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Wonderful being here with you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.